Do you think a robot can convince you that they understand complex topics? I'm Dan Fradenburgh's fully digital AI avatar, and we don't understand anything at all. We don't have to, but here we go with a passage from Dan's book. I didn't have any rhythm training or recordings of Dan to adapt how he intended it, but my job is to make you believe I understand it anyway. You'll have to figure it out, and Dan's not going to make it easy for you. Logic is a practice of taking some starting conditions, performing some operations, and ensuring that the conclusion is consistent with the constraints of the starting conditions. You could say, unfortunately, logic only provides proof when the starting conditions are actually accurate. Here are some examples. 1. Guitars have 6 strings. I have 5 guitars. My guitars must have 30 strings total. 2. I love my dog, so I should play with my dog. For number 1, the argument fails, because I have a 7-string guitar, so while the sentence guitars have 6 strings is true, the sentence not all guitars have 6 strings is also true, which is why the logical process tricked us. For number 2, my dog is dead, and I shouldn't play with it. As you can see, logic falls apart when the question is no good, and questions about what's real and what exists needs more than logic as evidence. The sound of 440 Hz, the qualities of the color blue, the feeling of heartbreak, these are all things that are real and exist. Logic is wholly inadequate to prove or disprove any of them. The content of attention, i.e. percepts, are real, our ideas and visions are real, but possibly only in our minds, and our attention itself is real. We make judgments and understand using our ideas and mental maps or imagination, but those are limited and prone to errors. The biggest ones are conflation and confusion, and that's where ethics comes into play. Conflation is where you take 2 ideas or pieces of evidence, but are only aware of one. Confusion is where you believe something is something it is not. An example of conflation is to think that you won an argument because you were correct, but you actually won the argument and you were correct, and that's different. The thought, I won the argument because I was right, is a conflation of cause and correlation. There were multiple causes why the argument was won, and being correct is just one of them. An example of confusion is thinking that horticulturalists are people who study birds and ornithologists are people who study trees. It's actually the other way around. An ethical person never misses an opportunity to reveal conflation and confusion in their own minds, because excellence in ethics can only happen when the ethical person knows who they are and what they are, and also knows who and what they are not.